Okay, so maybe just
yeah.
before,
So like he has mentioned, the birth of Zambia Albinism Task Force was it was birthed under the need for people with the organization with people with albinism to come together and speak in one voice. Because what used to happen long time ago was his organization would go to government and say, we need sunscreen. The government will give maybe 2 boxes of sunscreen and feel that is enough. But what we are saying is, when we lobby government, they should be able to give us enough, not just peanuts.
So when you talk about lobbying government, what are you looking for from the government?
What we are looking for, we can trace it back to the 5x5 matrix of the CBR, which we are talking about the healthy, the education, empowerment, social, and the security. When we talk about those, we are saying people with albinism, they should be protected. They should be feel safe in their own country. When we talk of healthy, like he has mentioned, one of the things that is taking our lives is the skin cancer. And we are saying no to skin cancer. And how are we going to say no to skin cancer? Is when government is able to procure sunscreen, which can be used by the majority of people with albinism. Not just one type of sunscreen, but different types of sunscreen. We are able to go to the dermatologist to assess the skin. How is the skin? How is it referred to in the sunscreen that they are applying? And also, we are able to access the grasses. Those are some of the things that we want from government. And the task force has been born so that we can draft the action plan. From the AU plan of action, we have our own action plan where the government can be able to adopt it and make sure that we also are included. We also feel to be part of the national cake, to be taking something from the national cake. Yeah. So that is something that we are looking for from the government.
Now also, when it comes to the theme, united in making our voice heard, what is the key message, gift that you would like people to take home from this theme?
So the takeaway, like the message, Zambia is very blessed because it has come at the time when all the organizations are saying, together we are going to fight for this, together we are going to amplify our voices for them to hear out our cries. So for the film, actually, we are just telling the world to say our cries is that can we stop the ritual attacks? Can we stop this? And the only way we can be able to stop this is for you to help us in adopting the National Action Plan.
Do you think people in Zambia are kind to people living with albinism?
I would say no. At the moment,
Don't be shy. This is why you're here.
I won't say we have people who are kind, but we also have people, because if people in Zambia are very kind to people with albinism, we will not see the attacks, we will not see the rejection for a child with albinism when the child is born. We will not see the discrimination. You hug us and say, come together, let's work on these things. But it is not happening. You hear about employment. You say, no, we've got a 10% for people with albinism, with people with disabilities as a whole. But people with albinism get the least out of that. Why? Because obviously you don't want to associate yourself because of what you have had and everything. If we are kind enough, you stand with us to say, let us shout out and people will hear our voices.
Now, I want you also to just paint a picture, because I think people might not understand because, they're not walking or living in your shoes. But when you did mention the issues of security, the issue of, having that protection, do you live every day in fear?
Yes. Actually, the life of a person with albinism, at the time you are born, somebody is in charge of you. Somebody has to take care of you. That is our parents. If you're lucky enough, your father and your mother accepts you, it means now it has to be them to take care of you. They cannot leave you with any relatives because they don't trust them. Because people always think we are money. They'll always think they're going to get the hair, they'll sell it, and they'll be wealthy. They're going to chop off your hand. So at that moment, the parents take care of you. But when you grow up, you have to understand that your life is now in your hands. And on a daily basis, you have to make sure that you don't go to places where you're just alone. At least you have to be with somebody who is able to see, because we've got the visual problem. Like you said, albinism it is in the eye, ear, and in the skin. So because of that, we can't see, our eyes are affected, we are short-sighted. So on that moment, when you are walking in the street, you have to be conscious, because you don't know who you are walking with and what their intention might be and what they want to do. So our life on a daily basis is the life of fear. You don't know. Even at the moment as we are speaking, even our family members, we can't trust them. Because
everyone just feels like a threat to you.
Yeah, everyone is just a threat, because most of the attacks, family members are involved. And you find that we are also saying, even my mother, I can't trust her. But we are saying, can we find a way where everybody feels safe